Hear me? Harry, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Good morning, Nick.
You can hear me. Okay, that's good.
You are hot now?
Is everything okay with YouTube?
Yes, yes.
Can you send me, you need to send me the link for the certificates.
Yes, yes. One moment.
Right. Okay, where's the chat? Hi guys, nice to see you all here. Okay. Good morning, Yana. Good morning, Yana. Please let me know whether you can hear me. And I'll send you
the... Nick, send it to your email, the link.
Sorry?
I sent the link to your email.
Yes, I got it. I'm trying to. All right, guys. Hello, George. Hello, Evangelia. Hello, everyone. Now, to get your certificate for today, click on this link. All right. So we'll be starting soon, about 5 minutes or so. How is everybody? So, can you all hear me? Let me just check the sound again. If you can hear me, please type something. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me show this. All right. Hello, Crisula. Good from Pyrgos. Oh, I'm so to hear that, Vicky. Good morning, iPhone. I love that when I see that. Okay, so we'll be starting soon. Good morning, Stella. Where's John today? I haven't seen John. Let me see whether we can share things. Okay. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. We'll be starting soon, like I said. Do you have any colleagues from other countries? Sometimes we. Okay. No, I haven't. English. Hello, Evangelia. Hi, Olympia. Yes, Greece. Okay, yeah. We have lots of people from Greece. Now remember, guys, let's see. Remember, guys, these events take place every 2 weeks. So if you like them, good morning, Mary. If you like them, please tell your colleagues and friends and relatives. Hello, Irini. Yes, yes. Well, that's for you to decide. Harry, please let me know when you start this thing on YouTube. Good morning, guys.
Yes, Nick, in 1 minute shall start. I will
Okay.
verify that is running okay.
Joanna says, is there a possibility for the webinars to take place in the afternoon? Yeah, I know, Joanna. But the thing is that most people work in language schools, so they work in the afternoon. Sorry for this. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, but I'll talk to the organizers. Yeah, well, Joanna, I mean, I know you're very conscientious, but most people want to go shopping during the weekend. They don't want to attend webinars. We'll see about that. Okay. Okay. So, guys, just a couple of things.
Nick, 1 moment. I confirm YouTube is broadcasting. Okay, I sent you the link on the chat.
Yes. Okay. But I cannot see that because I have it on. Okay, maybe it's going to start in a minute. I still cannot see anything there though. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is okay.
Okay.
But
Okay, Nick.
guys, good morning. Good morning from good morning, Katerina. Bye, John. You're here. Hello, John. I was worried there for a minute. I said, what's happened to John? Okay. So guys, here's the link for your certificate again. You want to get a certificate for today's session? Okay. Here's the link again. Okay, so we'll be starting in like 3 minutes. Oh my, there's lots of you today. Hello. You know, we are coming to Evia Irini on Sunday. We're going to be in Helkida. So you may want to join us for the event there. Okay, so we'll be starting in 2 more minutes. So yeah, as I was saying, hello guys. Oh, Miss Olongi. Okay, Nicoletta. So as I was saying, as you know, these events take place every 2 weeks, as you know. The next one is going to be on teaching vocabulary and phrasal verbs in particular. So I mean, you may want to tell people, you know, and the one after that, it's going to be on AI and ChatGPT again. It's going to be on ChatGPT and fluency, using AI for fluency practice. So you may want to make a note. Okay, great. All right. Hi, Maritana, lucky Maritana from Rhodes. Oh, hello, Ariti. Let's see here. So, and guys, another thing, if you can take screenshots, some screenshots today, you can send them to me afterwards. It's always a good thing because I don't have the time to do this myself. Okay. Right. I think most of us are here, so we might as well get started. Okay. So hello, everyone, and thank you for being here once again for this event. Oh, Grisula from Alexandria. Okay, lucky Grisula. Been there a number of times. Okay. So hello, everyone, once again. So my name is Nick, and I'm interested in cooking. You didn't know that? Yeah, I'm interested in cooking, and sometimes I have a look at cookery books. But you know, when it comes to recipe, yeah, I read recipes the same way I read science fiction. Yeah, I get to the end and I say to myself, well, that's not going to happen. I love this quote, I have to say. I love it. But there's a reason I chose it today. I've used this before, but there's a reason I chose to use it today. The reason is that unlike what happens in cooking books, okay, the recipes I'm going to share with you today actually do work. So let me give you an example. You know this game, 20 questions? Yeah. So you work with another person, you think of an animal, and the other person asks you questions and tries to guess it. Well, you can play this game with ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT to think of an animal or an object or a job or a sport. And then you start asking questions like, does it live in the sea? Or can it fly, etc. Okay. And ChatGPT can guess it. Okay, so let's see how this works. See whether you can guess it by asking less than 20 questions. And you can play it, your students can play it as a competition. They can compete and see how many questions they have to ask, right? So let's see how this works. Share, okay. Yeah, I've got my. All right. So you choose the prompt carefully. And then you go to ChatGPT. Okay. So this is what you tell ChatGPT. Let us play a game. I want you to think of a wild animal, not a very unusual animal. I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to try to guess it. Do you understand? And let's see what Mia is going to say.
Sounds like a fun game. I understand. Go ahead and ask your questions, and I'll do my best to think of an animal for you to guess.
Okay. Well, you see, AI is not always okay. All right. So let's see. Does this animal live on land or in the sea?
This animal lives on land.
Is it a big animal, like an elephant or a hippo?
No, it's not as large as an elephant.
And you find it in a zoo?
Yes, you can find this animal in some zoos.
Is it a herbivore or a carnivore? Is it a herbivore or a carnivore?
This animal is a herbivore.
Is it bigger than a fox?
Yes, it is bigger than a fox.
Does it have stripes?
Yes, this animal does have stripes.
Is it a zebra?
Yes, you got it. It's a zebra. Well done. Your questions led you straight to the right answer.
Isn't this fantastic? So you can get your students to play this game. And normally you need two people for this. But with ChatGPT, they can play alone. And they can say, oh, I only needed 12 questions to get my the animal. And the other person can say, you know, I only got it after 9. So that's amazing. All right. So let's see what we're going to look at today. Today, we want to look at how we can use ChatGPT to help students develop the 4 skills. Okay, sorry. Yeah, of course you can, Vicky, you can join anytime you want to. Okay, sorry. Guys, you need to switch off your microphone. Okay. So we are going to be looking at speaking, listening, reading, writing, and as I told you, we're also going to be looking at vocabulary. So let's start with the first thing, speaking. Now, I don't know about you, but my students have a problem when it comes to speaking. They have a problem asking questions. So how can you use ChatGPT there? Well, you can focus on one thing, okay, and you can get students to ask GPT a series of questions. The activity is called doing a survey. So students imagine they are reporters. They instruct ChatGPT to imagine it is a student, let's say a student who plays music, or who does a sport, or who is interested in books. There's a lot of possibility there. And students are given a table with question prompts. And they have to interview ChatGPT. And then they can do it again and again and report back to class. So we can compare the answers later. So let's see. Over to you now. Imagine you have in front of you a 15-year-old girl and she plays music. What questions would you ask her? Imagine you're a reporter doing a survey. For example, what instrument do you play? Any other questions? Come on, feel free to share ideas in the chat. How did you get interested? Very good. Anything else? When did you start? Very good. Any other questions? Get students to brainstorm questions. How long have you been learning? Notice the difference in the tenses. Yeah. How often do you practice? When did you start? How long have you been playing? What kind of music do you like? Very good. Anything else? How many hours do you practice? Good. And you put these questions together. And students have to make a note of the answer so they can, what plans do you have for the future? Would you like to be a musician? Right. And then you give students something like this. Okay, so we have this problem with it. Okay, you have to keep doing that. All right. So you give students something like this. Okay, a list of prompts, not questions, because they have to construct the language each time, right? And let's see what happens. And you tell them to make a note of the answers ChatGPT gives, and they can do it twice, 3 times, and so on. Let's go. Let's go to the prompts. It's a good idea to have prepared the prompts in advance. And let's go to ChatGPT. Look at the prompt. Imagine you are a 15-year-old girl who plays music. I am a reporter doing a survey. I'm going to ask you some questions. Please keep your answers short and use simple language. B1 level. Do you understand? Now, these 2 points are important. ChatGPT tends to talk a lot. You don't want that. You want the students to practice using the language. And another thing, ChatGPT tends to use very difficult language. So specify a low level. Okay, if your students are B1 level, tell ChatGPT to use A2 level. All right, let's do it.
Got it. I'm ready for your questions.
Okay, let's see. What instrument do you play?
I play the guitar and piano.
When did you start playing music?
I started playing music when I was around 8 years old.
How did you get started?
My dad taught me some basic guitar chords, and I started taking piano lessons at school.
How often do you practice?
I practice almost every day, usually for about an hour.
Have you ever taken part in a live performance?
Yes, I've performed live at school talent shows and local events.
Very good. Would you like to be a musician in the future?
Yes, I would love to pursue a career as a musician in the future.
Fantastic. So students can interact with ChatGPT. Now, I want to show you something else. ChatGPT, 2 things, as a matter of fact, right? Let's go back to the prompts. Same thing. But this time, we're going to ask Mia about sports.
Yes, I understand. Go ahead and ask your questions.
So imagine you're a 15-year-old who does sport, I'm doing a survey, etc., etc. Okay. Now, ChatGPT can understand our questions even if we ask incorrectly. So let's do this. What sport you play?
I play soccer and tennis.
How often play?
I play sports about 3 times a week.
You like to be professional player? Future?
Yes, I would love to become a professional player in the future.
And now, so that's one thing. ChatGPT can usually understand our questions, even if they're not correct. But here's the best thing. You can ask ChatGPT to correct your questions. So that means your students can get feedback immediately afterwards. Let's see. Thank you, Mia. Please rewrite my questions in correct English.
Sure, here are your questions rewritten.
Excellent. What sport do you play? How often do you play? Do you aspire to become a professional player in the future? Remember what we said about ChatGPT using advanced language? aspire to become a professional. She couldn't have said something like, would you like to be a professional player? Obviously. But this is fantastic. Okay, so let's go back then. So you can use ChatGPT to practice, to get your students to practice speaking in English, right? Let's move on to listening now. Now, AI is not very good for listening practice. And the reason for this is because at present, the way Mia speaks is not very natural. Okay, so Mia speaks very clearly, and she doesn't usually use prosodic features to add extra meaning, like using stress or emphasis. There are no great fluctuations in intonation. She doesn't use pausing for effect like normal speakers do. And then there isn't any redundancy. Mia speaks like she's reading things, right? So she doesn't speak inaccurately. She doesn't repeat herself. She doesn't explain things, which are all features of natural language, right? However, for lower levels, it can be very good. You can use AI for listening practice to boost students' confidence, right? So you can play an activity, you can make it fun as well. You can get students to play bingo. How does it work? Well, imagine you have planned a lesson and you don't have a listening activity. So you want to add a listening activity. Well, you can ask ChatGPT to generate such an activity. Choose a common news item, for example, a bank robbery or a political event or whatever. Students brainstorm ideas about certain things which might be mentioned in a news report on this topic. We're going to do this together, right? Each student chooses 6 of them, and then ChatGPT produces a report containing all 9 pieces of information. Students listen and make notes. When they have 5 of the answers, they call out bingo. That's it. Yeah, I know about natural readers, which you mentioned here, but they're still not very natural. They have different accents, but they still don't speak naturally, in my opinion, at any rate. Okay, so let's try and do that. Let's say we want to play a report about a bank robbery. So what information do you think such a report would contain? Bank robbery. For example, how many were the robbers? Number of robbers. Anything else? Over to you. Date and place. Very good. And time, perhaps. Anything else? Hostage. Did they take any hostages? If they, yeah. Were there any people there held at gunpoint? Anything else? Come on, guys. These are easy questions. Expect some audience participation here, especially seeing as there's 140 of you. Okay. And witnesses. Was anybody shot? Anybody harmed? Were they arrested? Okay. How much money did they steal? Yes. What was stolen? Anything else? How did they get away? Perhaps. Any other questions? Any injuries? Valuable items? Very good. Was the first time such a thing had happened? Did they get away? Very good. So this is what you do. You tell ChatGPT, write a news report about a bank robbery, level of English B1, 200 words long, and you specify that it should contain the following information. All those questions you asked. Number of robbers, whether anyone was hurt, where it happened, how the robbers got away, etc. How much money they stole, etc. When the police arrived, when it happened. Yeah. So let's do the activity. What I want you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper and choose 6 of these questions. Do not write the whole question. Just one word, right? So write down 6 of them, like weapons, when, perhaps, hurt, was anyone hurt? Robbers, number of robbers, okay? So please write down 6 of these questions, like 6 words, so that 1 for each question. Okay. Tell me when you have done it. 6 questions. Done. Okay. Okay. 6, only 6, right? Now, we are going to tell Mia to produce the report. When you hear an answer to one of your questions, write down the answer. So yesterday, 4 robbers got into the bank at the Plaza Grafo, etc., etc. Yeah, please write down the answers. When you have the answer for 5 of your 6 questions, please type bingo. Yes. Okay. Let's do that. Let's get a prompt. Here it is. And let's go to ChatGPT. Now you might say, yeah, but we'll be able to see the text here. No, you won't. I'll make sure you don't. You don't see that. Okay. Let's see. This is the prompt. Write a news report about a bank robbery. Please make a note of the answers to your questions. Let's do it.
Title: Bank robbery shocks local community. In a daring daylight heist, a group of 3 armed robbers struck First National Bank on Main Street yesterday afternoon, leaving customers and staff in a state of shock. The incident occurred around 2 p.m., catching everyone off guard. Eyewitnesses reported that the robbers, armed with handguns, stormed into the bank and demanded cash from the tellers. Despite compliance, one customer sustained minor injuries during the commotion, but fortunately, no serious casualties were reported. After grabbing an undisclosed amount of cash, the robbers fled the scene in a black sedan, making a swift getaway before law enforcement could arrive. Police responded promptly to the scene, launching a search operation, but the robbers remain at large. This is not the first time such an incident has occurred in our area, with a string of similar bank robberies reported in recent months. Authorities are urging citizens to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity. The use of firearms in the robbery has raised concerns about public safety, prompting calls for increased security measures at financial institutions across the region. The police are currently investigating the robbery and appealing to the public for any information that may lead to the apprehension of the perpetrators.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's see. Yeah, with the students, it's not enough for them to tell you to call out bingo. You have to make sure that they got the answers right. So let's see whether you got them right. How many were the robbers? Let's see. Yep, well done. What kind of weapons did they have? Okay, well done, well done. How did they get away? Black sedan, well done. Brilliant, amazing. Okay, now, how do you make sure your students do not see the text? Well, you scroll down, like what I did. But the text is here, so students can check their answers afterwards. Now, this is a text. Remember what I said about the level of English that ChatGPT uses? I told it to use B1 language and said, storm into the bank, sustain minor injuries, to remain vigilant. Okay. Okay. It's a bit more demanding language, you know? Fantastic. How long would it take you to do this? Like 2 minutes? You brainstorm ideas. Notice, you involve students in the generation of the activity. And then that's it. Great. Regardless of the lesson, you can always produce a report like this one. So that was listening. Now, this is a text that it had produced earlier because I did it earlier. What about vocabulary now? I promised you would do something about vocabulary as well. Well, normally when students think about vocabulary, they think about single words. But we have said in previous talks that this is not quite good enough. They should be focusing on collocations instead. So let's say you have a text, something, a text on education perhaps, and you would like to have a vocabulary activity as well. What can you do? Well, you know you want collocation. You can ask ChatGPT to generate the right collocations, right? Choose a topic, let's say education. Ask ChatGPT to come up with 30 typical collocations on the topic. So remember, let's say you have a class B1, B2 level, and you want to teach them some vocabulary that has to do with education. What collocations would you like to teach them? For example, attend a class, revise for a test, anything else? Over to you. I want to see what collocations you come up with, and then we can compare those with what ChatGPT comes up with. So collocations that have to do with education, sit a test, cover a lot of ground, very good. Pass an exam, fail an exam, take a test, as opposed to write a test, take a break, fall behind, excellent. Anything else? Do your homework, submit an assignment, break a leg, very good. Catch up with how you keep up with your class, revise. Right? I hope you're not using ChatGPT to come up with your ideas, right? This is what you should say, boost my performance. I mean, brush up on my English, play truant, excellent. Fantastic vocabulary. Okay, meet deadlines, excellent, excellent. Let's see. So you can ask ChatGPT to come up with a number of collocations. Let's see, let's do that. Go to ChatGPT. So you tell ChatGPT, give me 30 useful collocations for learners of English on the topic of education, like attend classes, submit an assignment. It's a good idea to give it examples. Why 30? Are you going to teach 30 collocations? The answer is no. But ChatGPT is not a good judge of which collocations are good for your learners. You are. Okay? So you can choose. Look at the collocations here. So for example,
Take notes. Attend lecture.
yes, okay. Study abroad is not particularly useful. They know that, all right. But register for courses, meet deadlines, pass exams, too easy. Attend tutorials. Okay, conduct, some of this is a bit too difficult. Enroll in a course though, that's good. Apply for scholarships, we want these. So you choose some of these, and then what? Well, you can ask ChatGPT to produce a matching activity. So you have the collocations here and the meaning there, perhaps. But research shows that it's much better if students see the words, the phrase they want to learn in a text. And many of the pre-reading and pre-listening activities are actually matching activities, right? Or true, false, or single sentence things. But why not ask ChatGPT to generate a text using the collocations that you have chosen? So you choose the most useful of those, say 10 of them, and then you tell ChatGPT, please create a text including those collocations. And you can also ask it to leave out, let's say, the verb. Okay, let's see how this works. So this is what you did. I've already chosen some collocations I've done earlier. I've chosen some of those collocations. And now you can tell me, write a 200-word text, including all of the following collocations. But you can give it another instruction. You say, replace the verb in each collocation with a gap. Okay, make sure you be in discussions with your fellow students. Participate, perhaps. Okay. Level of English B2. Let's see what's going to produce. Sometimes it gets it right. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, let's see. Okay. This time it worked just fine. So make sure you attend lectures. It's important to actively participate in discussions, etc. Fantastic. How long would it take you to do this? And the answer is like 2 minutes. You ask it to generate collocations and then to produce a text with a gap filling activity. Now, I did that earlier. Select the best one. You ask ChatGPT to produce a text containing these collocations, but leaving out the verb or the noun. Yeah, I chose a different topic. Fitness. Okay. So this is what I'm going to give me 30 useful collocations for learners of English at the topic of exercising, fitness. Yeah. Burn calories, develop stamina, etc. Level of English B2. So you choose the most useful ones, like these perhaps, and then you ask ChatGPT to generate the text with the gaps. Okay, exactly like we did before. Let's see how good you are. So here I have left out mostly verbs. We're just going to do 2 or 3 of them. To achieve your fitness goals, it is essential to beep your endurance gradually. Over to you. What's the missing word? To enhance. Okay. Maybe a bit tricksy. Anything else? What about increase? Increase, build your endurance gradually, etc., etc. Yeah, develop. So much better. Okay, good. Next one. Incorporate activities like running, swimming, or cycling can help you, again, build endurance, perhaps. Additionally, focusing on stretching exercises can help you in flexibility. What about this one? I think improve your flexibility, develop flexibility. Very good. What about the next one? Strength training is also crucial for overall fitness. Be sure to what? To lift weights. Very good. To muscle mass. What about the verb here? To muscle mass. Build muscle mass. Good. You get the idea. Very good. And then you can ask to do exactly, you say, take this text, and this time I want you to replace the noun of the collocation. So you give them a second activity. So for example, let's look at the last paragraph here. To stay on track with your fitness goals, it's helpful to track your regularly. To track your progress. Very good, regularly, by keeping workout journal. Additionally, what is this? Consider joining fitness to stay motivated. Fitness class. Good. You get the idea. Very good. How long would it take? Like, say, 2 or 3 minutes. Get ChatGPT to generate the things you want. I want us to go back to speaking for a little, because remember the first one we did, the one the survey. Well, somebody might say, okay, so this is hardly something useful. Give students some prompts, and students produce some questions. They don't even need to listen to what ChatGPT is saying. Yes, this is a good way to start, but for more advanced learners, you can take it a step further and use what is best about ChatGPT, which is the interactive ability. Here's what you do. Once again, it's a survey, but a survey with a difference. Students listen to the track and make a note of the 6 questions. So here we have somebody who goes around asking people 6 questions. Okay? Individually, they then ask ChatGPT these questions. But here's the thing. They don't know what the answer is going to be. And after each question, they have to ask 1 or 2 follow-up questions, depending on the answers they get. And students compare the responses they got with the rest of the classmates. So this introduces something which is crucial in communication: unpredictability. Okay. Whoops. So let's listen. What I want you to do now, we're just going to listen to the first 3 questions. Write down 1 word for each question, just the main idea. And please write down the answer that the first respondent gives. Okay. 3 questions, 3 answers only. Just one word for each. Let's go.
Excuse me, could I ask you a few questions?
Certainly, yes.
Could you tell me what you enjoy most in life?
What I enjoy most in life? I think I enjoy a nice meal.
And what do you think's been your greatest, or would be your greatest ambition?
My greatest ambition would be to go to Indonesia and see the wonderful arts and dances and musics of that country.
Oh, yes, fascinating. What's been your greatest achievement so far?
My greatest achievement, well, far be it from me to say, but I think that I go back to the time that I got to Oxford. I was very, very proud of finding myself at such a wonderful, hallowed university of learning.
Okay. So what was the first question? First question? What do you enjoy most in life? Okay. And what did he say? Do you remember? Yep, meals. Good. A nice meal. Good. A person after my own heart. Number two. Question number two. Ambition. Very good. And what was the answer? To go to Indonesia. Very good. Number three? Achievement. Right. And his answer was? Yes, he went to Oxford. Now, good. So here are the 6 questions. So let's see that our students ask ChatGPT, what do you enjoy most in life? And they say, oh, I enjoy a nice meal. What follow-up questions would they ask? Well, something like, do you have any favorite restaurants? Do you prefer eating at home or eating out? Do you prefer eating with company, etc.? Now, what about the second question? What's your greatest ambition? Well, I would like to go to Indonesia. What follow-up questions could somebody ask? Over to you. As somebody says, I would like to visit Indonesia. Who would you like to go with? Megan Fox. Oh, I didn't say that. Okay. Who with? Yes, okay. Anything else? Why? Okay, close. Okay. Perhaps would you like to stay there or work there? Why Indonesia? Okay, why did you choose that place? Very good. Okay. Next question. What has been your greatest achievement? They say, well, I studied at Oxford. Okay, yeah, right. I studied at Oxford. So what can the follow-up question be? What did you study? Obviously. How many years were you there for? What did you study? Okay. How was it? What was it like? Etc. Yeah, very good. All right. Let's do it. Let's see how it works. Once again, you get your prompt. I go to ChatGPT. Describe your experience. Okay. If you were to tell that to ChatGPT, it would go on forever. You want ChatGPT to keep its responses short. So let's go. Imagine you're a middle-aged woman. I am a reporter doing a survey. I'm going to ask you some questions. Just make up your answers and try to make them concrete and interesting. That's an important point. Because ChatGPT is a bit insecure, Mia tends to go for very, very general questions. What do you enjoy most in life? I don't know. I enjoy seeing the happiness in people's eyes, which is, of course, nonsense, you know? Make up the answers, make them concrete, keep them short, and use simple language. That's it.
Absolutely, I understand. Fire away with your questions.
What do you enjoy most in life?
I find the most joy in spending time with my family and pursuing my hobbies, like gardening and cooking.
How long have you been involved with gardening?
I've been gardening for over 20 years now. It's been a wonderful journey watching my plants grow and thrive.
Which is your favorite plant?
My favorite plant is the rose. I love its beautiful blooms and the way it adds fragrance and elegance to my garden.
Oh, very good. Next question. What would be your greatest ambition?
My greatest ambition is to write a book about my life experiences and share it with others. I believe it could inspire and help people going through similar situations.
Have you made a plan of your book?
Yes, I've started outlining the chapters and jotting down key moments and lessons I want to include. It's a work in progress, but I'm excited about bringing my story to life.
When do you think you'll have it published?
I'm hoping to have it published within the next 2 years. It's a big goal, but I'm determined to see it through.
Excellent. So you get the idea, right? I didn't know what Mia was going to say. So now I have to think on my feet and come up with additional questions. And you can take it further still, because you can make it more natural and say, imagine we're friends interacting. And Mia will actually, after you ask her 1 or 2 questions, she's going to ask you questions in return. What about you? What do you enjoy most in life? I think that's even better. Okay. So that's what we want to do. We want to use the interactive options that ChatGPT offers. All right. So far, we have looked at speaking and listening. Now, what about reading? Vocabulary, right? What about reading? Sometimes you may have problems with reading because you have a course book, you open the course book, unit 9, you say, no, so this text is not going to work. You say to yourself, because it's perhaps it's not interesting, maybe it's too difficult, maybe it's too long, maybe the activity is not an activity you like. So what do you do then? No problems. You can ask the ChatGPT to create custom-made text for your class. Amazing. On something that your students really are interested in. For me, content matters enormously. So you can ask ChatGPT to write an interesting text at the right level for your students. Over to you now. What are your students interested in? You may say, well, I teach teenagers and they're only interested in Call of Duty, you know, these video games. No problems. TikTok, that's right. You can ask ChatGPT to produce a text on TikTok. When it started, what kind of videos it has, etc. Anything else? Any other topic? Instagram. Very good. Anything else? What might they be interested in reading? Maybe they love football. So you could ask ChatGPT to generate a short biography of Ronaldo or Messi. Anything else? What else do you think your learners are interested in? Okay, TikTok, Instagram, fashion, yeah. Okay. You can ask ChatGPT to generate text about the latest fashions. From Reader's Digest, holidays, yeah, basketball. You can ask ChatGPT to create something that's related, celebrities perhaps, music, of course, rap, yeah, or trap, indeed, yeah. So write a text about trap music. What about teenagers? Remember, we have said in a previous webinar that teenagers are interested in themselves. Okay, video games, well, all kinds of things. All right. So you can ask them to, very often the text in course books, the materials writers, they don't know your students. So they can write something about customs in Bhutan, and your students may not have heard about Bhutan, but they know about Greece. Why not ask ChatGPT to write a text about Greek customs? Okay. And then there is the other issue. You can ask ChatGPT to write something that will interest your students, and the text can be of the right length, right level. What about the activity? ChatGPT, if you ask it to produce an activity to go with the text, it will come up with a multiple choice question or a true false questions or something like that, because that's all it knows. I mean, these are the most popular activities, but you may want it something to produce something better. Here's what you can do. You choose the topic. Okay. Say the text should contain at least 10 pieces of information. And then you can instruct ChatGPT to rewrite the text so that these factual details are wrong. And then you can create 2 different texts, each containing at least 5 mistakes. So let me show you how this works. Okay, let's go to our prompts. So let's say that your students are interested in, I don't know, the pyramids, the perennial favorite. So you say, write a text about the pyramids in Egypt. It should contain at least 10 pieces of information, like when they were built, how large they are, etc. Level of English B1. Yeah. And you get your text. But now you tell ChatGPT, rewrite the same text and this time change the information so that it's wrong. So let's see. Rewrite this text so that at least 10 of these pieces of information are wrong. Like I say, oh, the pyramids were built more than 6,000 years ago. That's the case. Okay. So the pyramids of Egypt were constructed only a few hundred years ago. Okay. The Djoser pyramid is made of sandstone. Its height is estimated to be 30 meters, and so on and so forth. Instead of limestone blocks, the pyramids were built using mud bricks reinforced with straw. This is inaccurate information. And what do you do then? Well, you take the 2 texts and you create 2 texts where some of the information is wrong in one of them and some of the information is wrong in the other one. And then you get students to read, to work in pairs, read the text and interact. Let's see how this works. I did that earlier with a text about Alexander the Great, because students know about it. Get students to work in pairs. Each one gets one of the texts, and then students read the text and make notes. And then they have to compare notes. They exchange information, try to spot the differences first, and then they have to decide which one do you think is correct. They try to work out which piece of information is the right one in each case. So this text A, Alexander the Great, and this text B. So let's see. So one of them says something like, my text says that Alexander the Great was born in Athens. What about yours? So they've made notes, right? They don't read them out. Well, mine says he was born in Pella in Macedonia. What do you think? Probably Pella because it was Macedonian. Okay. And my text says that he came to the throne when he was 20 years old. Oh, mine says he was 25. Well, he was probably older, perhaps. Maybe 25, the right one. So my text says that he was tutored by Aristotle. Oh, that's interesting. Mine says he was tutored by Plato. Which I'm not sure. Let's go with Aristotle. Yeah. So students actually have to exchange information and decide which one is correct. And then, of course, they can look at the right text. Okay. So you can see text A. This information is wrong. No, he was not born in Athens. He didn't make campaign against Egypt. He didn't find King Xerxes. Okay. He was not named Alexander the Conqueror. It was William the Conqueror. And text B, he was not tutored by Plato. He didn't defeat the Roman Empire. You get the idea. Very good. The best thing is that hopefully you're going to choose a topic that's going to be interesting to your learners. At this point, we only have writing, okay? So we're doing very well in terms of time. But there are 2 or 3 things I would like to say. Technology versus methodology. Here's the most important thing. ChatGPT cannot replace the teacher. ChatGPT is a fantastic tool, but it cannot do your work for you. The teacher needs to know what prompts to use. Notice that in each case, we chose our prompts very, very carefully on the basis of our learners. And that's the second thing. You know what language your students need. And you can specify, you know the language level of your students, what kind of stuff they need. And also, you know which tasks work. Left to its own devices, ChatGPT is going to produce multiple choice and gap filling tasks. But this last activity we did is much more interesting for students trying to define differences and, of course, notice the skills integration. So reading and listening and speaking, decision making, so much better. ChatGPT cannot do that. You have to know your methodology to make the most of ChatGPT. That's the point I want to make. Last thing now, writing. As we've said before, our students love writing, don't they? No, actually, they hate writing. But why is that? I've said this in other webinars as well. I think the main reasons are two. Number one, when we ask them to write things, we ask them to write something long. Okay, so write an essay about this. Ugh, they hate that. There is a second reason. When they write, but normally the teacher doesn't care about what they say. The teacher only cares about the language. I've used good language. I've used the right tenses. Is the vocabulary good? Okay, it's a display activity. Think about your learners. Your learners go home after the lesson, and what do? They pick up their mobile phone and start exchanging messages. That's writing. And these messages can be in English if they have a friend in the UK or in Canada or whatever. They don't mind that. But notice, each message is 1 or 2 sentences long. And of course, they get feedback immediately. They get a response. The other person is interested in what they have to say. Can we replicate these things in class with ChatGPT? Indeed, we can. Here's one of my favorite activities. Continue the story. Give students the beginning of a story. They can choose it. Horror story, detective story, a love story. Students continue the story for 1 or 2 sentences using ChatGPT, and then Mia continues the story for 1 or 2 sentences, right? And that's how it goes. And normally, to do this, you have to have 2 people doing it at the same time. But they can do it at home, and they can bring a printout of the story they produce, right? Students can share the result of the collaborative work. So let's see how it works. I thought, with seeing as most of you are women, perhaps we could do a romantic story, a date, perhaps. How about that? So this is the prompt you give ChatGPT. I want us to write a story together. Every time I'm going to send you a sentence or 2, and you continue for another sentence or 2, then it's my turn again, and so on. Do you understand? Okay. And this is the opening sentence. Jenny was feeling nervous. This was to be a first date with Peter, and she wanted to impress him. What should she wear? Let's see what happens. Let's grab our prompt. Okay, let's go to ChatGPT. So we tell her the idea.
Yes, I understand. Let's start our collaborative story. You can begin with the first sentence whenever you're ready.
Okay, first sentence. Jenny was feeling nervous. This was to be her first date with Peter. She wanted to impress him. What should she wear? Let's see what Mia says.
Jenny stood in front of her closet, pondering over her options. Should she go for a casual look with jeans and a cute top, or opt for something more elegant like a dress?
All right, over to you now. How would you continue the story? 1 or 2 sentences. Let's see. She thought she would go for a long skirt and a see-through top. Let's make it a bit long. Or would that be too provocative?
Jenny hesitated, wondering if the outfit would send the wrong message. After all, she didn't want Peter to get the wrong idea about her. She glanced at the clock nervously, realizing she didn't have much time left to decide.
Come on, over to you. I want some contributions from you. What should I write next? Still waiting for ideas. So she decided to go for a casual look. She switched to her comfy jeans and a lounge jacket, and off she went. Oh, come on. So, seeing that Peter was a billionaire, she decided to go with the elegant dress. Okay, now that's an interesting one. Seeing as Peter was a billionaire, she decided to go for the elegant dress. Yeah, but okay. She found something more dapper to wear. After all, she wanted a snap to impress him. She decided to wear a smart black costume. Okay, let's see what she says after that. Jenny reasoned that since Peter was a
billionaire, he might appreciate a more refined look. With a determined nod, she opted for the elegant dress, feeling a surge of confidence as she slipped it on. She hoped it would make a good impression on him.
When Peter saw her, he was stunned. My God, you look gorgeous, he said.
Jenny blushed at Peter's compliment, feeling a rush of excitement. She smiled shyly and thanked him, grateful that she had chosen the dress after all. As they headed out for their date, she couldn't shake off the butterflies fluttering in her stomach, but she was eager to see where the night would take them.
Let's see what Peter says. I've booked us a table at a lovely little restaurant. And then, if you feel like it, we can go to my place and I can show you my stamp collection. How about that? Let's see what she says. Okay.
Jenny's eyes widened in surprise at Peter's unexpected hobby. She hadn't pegged him as a stamp collector, but she found it endearing. That sounds wonderful, she replied with a smile, intrigued by the idea of seeing his collection.
Okay.
As they made their way to the restaurant, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement about the evening ahead.
It's so funny, though, naughty Peter. Yeah. But it's so funny that Mia does not understand the connection. You know, the implication of the stamp collection. It's hilarious. But your students are gonna play with this. Okay, they're gonna have Peter paying her inappropriate compliments, so on, and then she's going to say something else and so on. And Mia is very. She lacks confidence because she doesn't know what all these things mean, and of course she likes to play it safe, you know. So anyway, you get the idea. It's hilarious, and students will want to continue with this after they go home. Okay, I've done this with my students, and they simply love this activity. Yeah, okay, but they will try out other things. You're absolutely right. Okay, right. That's it. I don't want to keep you any longer. So let's recap. Let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you that we want to continue. All right, guys. So let's see what we did today. Today, we have looked at ways of using ChatGPT to develop all 4 skills plus vocabulary. Now, do you remember the activities? I hope you have been taking some screenshots, by the way. Do you remember what the activities were? For speaking, it was a survey. What about the others? Bingo, listening bingo, good. Okay, yeah. What about writing? Fill the gap. Yeah, okay, that's collocations for the vocabulary. 20 questions game, the beginning. Very good. Anything else? No? The two texts, yeah. Compare the two texts with the mistakes. And what about writing? We looked at now. Continue a short story. That's right. And students can choose the genre and so on. Productive writing. Very good. Now, last question. Imagine as you leave the webinar, somebody stops you and asks, what one idea would you like to keep from today's session? What would you say? What one idea would you like to keep today's session? They're basic too. Okay, okay. Ethical use. Okay, okay. Something you can use with your students that's too general. Motivate them to still collecting stuff. Okay. Okay, continue the story. It's time saving. That's one thing. Okay. Everything. Okay. Too general. I guess using you, although I'm not convinced. Okay, Michelle. Ask the right questions. That's a good one now, Doc. Anyway, so yes, make the most of it. Okay. Careful prompt design. Very good. Effectively. Okay, so people are still thinking about the stuff collection. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's a different issue, of course. Yeah. Lots of people use it to generate what should be their homework. Yes. Do something interesting. Use ChatGPT to produce interesting stuff for the students. Okay. Very good. So teachers need to prepare beforehand. Here are my key points here. Key tips. Number one, use the generative powers of ChatGPT. And this is what we did with the listening and the reading. Ask ChatGPT to generate text, something that would interest your students, something at the right level. Customize, that's it. Number two, use ChatGPT for interaction. This is something that the other tools cannot do. Remember what happened with the speaking, the follow-up questions, that's interactive. And the story, they continue the story, that's interactive. Because for Mia to continue the story, she has to read what we wrote earlier and vice versa. Two more things. Formulate your prompts carefully in order to get exactly what you want. Okay. And one last thing, test it before you use it. Because sometimes ChatGPT makes mistakes. AI is not always I. Okay. Nevertheless, it is a very useful tool, as I'm sure you've realized by now, and it can generate lots of excitement. The classroom is completely different. And we need to be familiar with technology in the same way you want to acquire experience with teaching your learners. You also want to acquire experience with technology and using ChatGPT. Okay. And the reason we need this is because none of us is getting any younger. I recently came across this quote. You start out as a professional with a full pot of enthusiasm and an empty pot of experience. And the secret is to fill the pot of experience before you run out of enthusiasm. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your participation today. So remember, the next event is going to be on teaching vocabulary and teaching phrasal verbs. And the one after that is going to be about using ChatGPT AI for fluency practice. Thank you so much, guys. If you like these webinars, please tell your friends and colleagues. Okay. Thank you, guys. But well, for the things you missed, as you said, please send me an email. You see the email address there. Or any questions you may have, please feel free to send me an email. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Hope to see you again in the near future. Okay.
Could we have a look at the slide before the last one, please? Before this one we're looking at now.
Not this one. This one.
This one, yeah. This one with
Okay.
the apple, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Not this one. The next one, please.
The next one.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're obviously experienced. I love collecting these as well. Little codes and stuff. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Stanley, could you please send them to me on Facebook? Thank you, guys. Yeah, link for the certificates. I'll send it to you now. Hang on. Wait a minute. Let me pick it up again. Okay. Here it
Thank
is.
you, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
The teacher trainees say thank you and hi from Morocco.
Oh. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi. Nice to have you all here. Thank you so much.
Yes, they have been following, but unfortunately we could not catch you from the very beginning. So we'd love to see the full, recording.
Okay. I don't know whether they uploaded somewhere, but I could also send you the slides perhaps. So
Okay, thank you very
we
much.
can talk about this. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Remember, the one after that is going to be about ChatGPT as well. And the next one is going to be on vocabulary and phrasal verbs. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.